Imagine a law book written over 1500 years ago, its pages filled with rules and principles that would outlast empires, wars, and revolutions. Now picture those same ancient ideas quietly shaping the digital world, right down to the phone in your hand, guiding the way we interact, buy, and agree online. The rules behind digital contracts, online purchases, and even the concept of ownership? They aren't just modern inventions, they're built on foundations laid centuries ago. All of this traces back to a Roman emperor named Justinian, who ruled from the heart of ancient Constantinople and dreamed of a legal system that would bring order to chaos. The Justinian Code wasn't just for its time, it was a complete rethinking of law, organized, logical, and accessible, designed to be understood by everyone, not just scholars. Its influence is global, woven into legal systems from Europe to South America, Africa, and Asia. Even today, echoes of Justinian's reforms can be found in courtrooms and constitutions worldwide. Every time you accept terms and conditions, you're echoing a decision made in ancient Constantinople. Great ideas outlast empires, and the choices of the past still shape our daily lives. The problems people faced then, property, contracts, rights, are the same ones we face today, just in a new context, with new technology but the same human questions. Understanding where our rules come from helps us understand who we are and why we value fairness, justice, and order in our societies. Justinian's Code is more than a history lesson. It's the story of our ongoing search for fairness and order, a journey that continues every time we make a choice or sign a contract. The past is never really past. It's alive, shaping our present and future in ways we barely notice, connecting us to people who lived centuries before us. Let's dive into this incredible story and discover how ancient wisdom still lives on in the devices we use every day. Meet Emperor Justinian I, a ruler whose ambition and energy were so legendary, his subjects believed he barely slept. His restless mind was always at work, shaping the destiny of an empire that stretched across continents. He was the driving force behind a legal revolution that would echo through the ages, transforming not just his own world, but the very idea of justice for generations to come. Born into humble beginnings in a small village, Justinian's rise to power in the bustling heart of Constantinople was fueled by relentless ambition, sharp intellect, and a vision that reached far beyond his origins. Justinian dreamed of restoring Rome's lost glory, not just through military conquest, but by uniting his people under a single, fair, and enduring legal system. At his side was his remarkable wife, Empress Theodora, a former actress who became a powerful advocate for social change, fiercely defending the rights of women, the poor, and the marginalized. Together, Justinian and Theodora built wonders like the Hagia Sophia, reshaping the skyline of their capital and laying new foundations for the empire's future. For Justinian, justice was more than a word. It was the true bedrock of a lasting and prosperous empire, the glue that could hold a diverse people together. The legal system he inherited was a tangled web, chaotic, confusing, and deeply unfair. Justinian saw this as a challenge he was determined to overcome, no matter the cost. For him, law was not just a practical tool for governance, it was a sacred duty, a calling that demanded clarity, order, and moral purpose. Justinian envisioned a legal system so clear, logical, and just that it would endure for all time, guiding not only his own people but future civilizations. This bold vision sparked one of history's most ambitious and important legal projects, a monumental effort that would shape the world's understanding of law. Let's discover how Justinian, the emperor who never slept, changed the course of history forever. By Justinian's time, Roman law was a tangled mess, centuries of conflicting rules scattered across thousands of scrolls. Imagine trying to solve a dispute when no one agrees on which law applies. Justice felt random, favoring the powerful over the ordinary citizen. The sources of law were overwhelming: ancient codes, Senate decrees, imperial edicts, and endless legal opinions. Even the experts disagreed, making the system unpredictable and unfair. Justinian saw this chaos as a threat to his empire's stability. He knew that to restore Rome's greatness, he needed more than armies, he needed clarity. The solution? A single, authoritative code that everyone could follow. He set out to sift through 1,000 years of law and forge something new. The stage was set for a legal revolution. Justinian assembled a dream team of legal minds led by Tribonian to tackle the chaos. Their first task, sort through centuries of imperial laws, keeping what worked and discarding the rest. In just over a year, they produced the Codex Justinianus, the empire's new rulebook. Next, they tackled the writings of ancient legal scholars, distilling millions of lines into a single, organized collection, the Digest. The Digest became the intellectual heart of the project, capturing Rome's legal wisdom. They also created the Institutes, a clear textbook for training new lawyers and judges. Finally, they added new laws as society evolved. Together, these works replaced the old, chaotic system with a unified legal foundation. It was a total legal reset for the empire. Justinian's vision was now reality. The monumental legal achievement of the Byzantine Empire, Justinian's body of civil law, was organized into 4 distinct and essential parts, each with its own unique purpose and importance. First, the Codex, a comprehensive collection of all valid imperial laws, carefully organized for easy reference and daily use by judges, lawyers, and officials. It brought centuries of scattered decrees together in one authoritative source. Second, the Digest, the distilled wisdom of Rome's greatest legal minds, explaining the principles behind the rules and offering guidance on complex cases. This was a treasure trove of legal thought, debates, and expert opinions. Third, the Institutes, a clear, accessible textbook for law students, ensuring the next generation understood the new system and could apply it with confidence. It was designed as an introduction, making the law understandable even for beginners. Fourth, the novels, new laws Justinian passed after the first 3 parts, showing the code could evolve and adapt to changing times and needs. These additions kept the legal system current and responsive. This 4-part system was the most comprehensive and ambitious legal code the world had ever seen, setting a new standard for legal organization. It covered everything from contracts and property to criminal law, family matters, and government duties, leaving almost no aspect of life untouched. The structure was logical, accessible, and designed to last for generations, making it a model for future legal systems. By controlling both the law and legal education, Justinian secured his legacy as a visionary reformer and lawgiver. The body of civil law became the gold standard for legal systems, admired and imitated for centuries. Its influence would soon spread far beyond the empire, shaping the laws of Europe and the world. Let's follow its journey. Let's follow its... After Justinian's death, his code faded in Western Europe, overshadowed by local customs and simpler laws. But around 1070, a complete manuscript of thee was rediscovered in Italy, just as Europe was changing. Growing trade in cities demanded better laws, and Justinian's code offered exactly that. The University of Bologna became the center for studying Roman law, with scholars, glossators, writing commentaries and adapting the code. Students spread this knowledge across Europe, advising rulers and shaping new courts. The code provided a common legal language and promoted justice based on evidence and reason. It challenged old practices like trial by ordeal, pushing for fairness and logic. Generations of lawyers learned to think systematically, laying the groundwork for modern legal systems. The forgotten code was back, and ready to reshape the world. Its influence was just beginning. The revival of Justinian's Code created a legal superhighway across Europe. Roman law merged with local customs, forming the common law of continental Europe. This tradition became the foundation for legal systems in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, and beyond. The Napoleonic Code, inspired by Justinian's principles, unified France's laws and spread across Europe with Napoleon's armies. Even after Napoleon's fall, his code, and Justinian's ideas remained influential. Today, civil law systems rooted in Justinian's work are used in most of Europe, Latin America, and parts of Africa and Asia. Places as diverse as Japan, Quebec, and Louisiana all reflect this legacy. The emphasis on written codes and logical structure, that's Justinian's influence. So when you see a courtroom drama in Paris or Mexico City, you're watching history in action. Justinian's legal superhighway still shapes our world. Justinian's Code isn't just ancient history, it's everywhere in modern life. The basics of contracts, offer, acceptance, agreement, come straight from thee. The concept of private property and the law's protection of your rights as an owner is rooted in Roman law. The structure of modern legal codes, organized, logical, accessible, follows Justinian's model. The idea that law should be public and clear is a direct legacy of his reforms. Even the famous phrase, "possession is 9/10 of the law," has Roman origins. This definition of justice, the constant and perpetual will to render to each his due, still guides legal thinking. From contracts to citizenship rights, Justinian's influence is everywhere. Our modern rule of law owes much to his vision. The echo of his work is loud and clear in the 21st century. So there you have it, the story of how an emperor's legal code shaped the world we live in. Justinian's work survived empires, wars, and centuries of change, proving that powerful ideas endure. His code adapted, evolved, and became the backbone of modern legal systems. The search for justice that began in ancient Constantinople continues in our courts and contracts today. Progress often comes from refining the best ideas of the past. History is full of hidden connections, stories that shape our world in ways we rarely notice. The past is a treasure map, and every story is a clue to understanding ourselves. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you want more stories that shaped our world, follow along for the next adventure. Until then, stay curious.